Hello students, welcome back again with the same chapter, Matter in Our Surroundings. So in the last video we have discussed about the different processes, that how one state of matter can be converted into its another state. Like we have studied melting point, then boiling, then sublimation process we have done. Okay, so today we'll do the next process, that is evaporation. Okay, so as the name suggests, evaporation, it means evaporate, you can say molecules are evaporating. Okay, so here we'll discuss that what is evaporation and how it is different from the boiling. Okay, because in boiling what is happening, that liquid state changes into its vapor at a one particular point, at a one particular temperature. But in evaporation it will takes place, same thing is happening, liquid to vapors, you can say changes taking place, but below its boiling point, or you can say before boiling. So this is the difference. Okay, that boiling, or you can say difference between evaporation and vaporization. So what is evaporation? It's basically a surface phenomenon. Surface phenomenon in which liquid changes into its vapor form below its boiling point. This is the evaporation. That evaporation is a surface phenomenon, and in which a liquid changes its vapor below its boiling point. It means it's not at the boiling point but just below it. Okay, so it's not the boiling. So there is a difference between boiling and evaporation. We'll see the differences also. And it's a surface phenomenon, but boiling is a bulk phenomenon. So let's see how. Let's take a container. Okay, in this the liquid molecules are present. Okay, so let's say these are the surface molecules of the liquid. Okay. Now what we are saying, we know that the particles of the liquid, they move with the kinetic energy, or they are moving continuously. Okay, when you can say they are moving with the kinetic energy. So every particle is having its own kinetic energy. Like some are having high kinetic energy, some are having low kinetic energy. So on an average we can say that it's the average kinetic energy of the particles of the liquid. So the particles of the, you can say we know that the particles, they attract each other. Okay, they are having some force of attraction between the particles. So the surface particles, okay, they are attracted because above the surface particles there are no other particles, fine. But below the surface particles, say these are all are the surface particles we are considering. These are the surface particles of the liquid. Fine, this liquid we have taken. Okay, surface particles, fine. Above the surface particles, no other particles are there, because till here only the volume is volume of the liquid is present. Below that particles are there, so it means surface particles will be attracted by the particles which are present below it. Okay, so it means there is some force of attraction, or you can say that these particles, they will not allow these particles to move or escape into the atmosphere. Okay, so what will happen when we will heat it? Okay, provide heat. What will happen? Now, if we have provided the heat, kinetic energy will increase. Kinetic energy increases. Fine, it means that will, you can say with the help of heat, particles, or you can say that the attraction between the particles, will get break. Okay, it starts breaking attraction. Okay, between the two particles, then the surface particles can easily escape into the atmosphere with the help of heat, or you can say the process will be faster. Okay, and if we take another container, here also we'll take, these are the surface particles. Okay, this is without heat, no heat. Okay, so let's say this is the first case with the help of heat. In the second case, no heat is supplied. Okay, absence of heat. Okay, so surface molecules, particles, they just start escape into the atmosphere. So you can say here more surface molecules will leave. More molecules or particles from the surface escape into the atmosphere. Okay, but here less evaporation. You can say less particles will escape. Less particles will escape. Okay, so this is the difference. On heating surface, you can say kinetic energy is increasing, so more and more surface particles will go into the atmosphere and you can say escape as vapors. And here, if no heat is there, still evaporation is taking place. Evaporation is taking place in both the process. Evaporation. Evaporation takes place. Okay, in both the cases. But here it is faster. Here it is slower. Fine, faster and slower. Faster because of the heat, slower because no heat. But process is still going on. Evaporation, which is a very, very slow process. Fine. Suppose if you just take a water, okay, take a water in a bucket and just leave it for 1 or 2 days. After 2 or 3 days, you will find there is a decrease in the level of the water. Okay, because the molecules of the water, they have just escaped into the atmosphere. So it means evaporation has taken place. But when you will heat the same thing, then it will take place at a faster rate. Okay, so we can say that evaporation, it is increasing with increasing temperature, and it's a change of the surface molecules only. It's a surface phenomenon. All the molecules will not escape into the atmosphere. Fine, see, as soon as these surface molecules will, you can say, escape into the atmosphere, then other molecules will come to the surface. So those surface molecules will escape now. So this process will keep on continue. Fine. So this is a surface phenomenon in which liquid changes into vapor form below its boiling point. So before attaining its boiling point, it will convert it into vapors. Fine. So evaporation will keep on taking place. So this is the evaporation phenomenon. Now let's see the factors affecting the evaporation. Fine. I hope this is clear. We have compared. Here more molecules will escape. Here lesser molecules will escape. Here you can write down more. These are the molecules. Molecules in vapor phase. Fine. Vapor phase. Here less molecule. Fine. So this is the difference. Now let's see the factors affecting the evaporation. What are the factors affecting? Okay, one we have discussed here. So let's see again factors affecting evaporation. Factors affecting evaporation. Factors affecting evaporation. So first is temperature. All these factors are very, very important. Second, surface area. Third, pressure. Fourth, humidity. Fifth is wind speed. So let's discuss all these factors. First is temperature. Temperature. Okay. So evaporation is directly proportional to temperature. Means when temperature increases, then evaporation increases. And when temperature decreases, evaporation decreases. Like we have discussed that on one side we have not heated the beaker, but when we have heated, the evaporation process will increase. So you can say that with increase in temperature, kinetic energy will increase and molecules will just move with the greater speed. So that's why evaporation increases with increase in temperature. Second, surface area. So let's take I'm taking, this is, say it's one kind of plate, okay, and here the liquid is there, fine, and the liquid will take in the beaker type or glass or tumbler. Let's say this is tumbler and this is the plate, right? Fine. Now we have taken the water in both the cases. Water is there. Fine. Now in which case the surface area is more? In this case the surface area is less. Surface area is less. But here more surface area. So evaporation depends upon the surface area. Evaporation depends upon the surface area. It is directly proportional to the surface area, because if more surface will be there, if surface area will be more and more molecules will get chance to evaporate. Fine, here the surface is more, surface area is more, so more and more number of molecules will go into the vapor phase. But here the molecule surface is less, so less molecule will come into the vapor phase. So here lesser molecule and here more molecules. So that's why it depends upon the surface area. Here more evaporation. And here less evaporation. So this is the difference. Again, it is directly proportional to the surface area. More the surface area, more will be the evaporation. Fine. So the container is having more surface area, then it will evaporate. For example, like if you have seen after the rain, if we see the road, okay, after the rain, that road gets dried up easily. Okay, it gets dried up easily as compared to the pots. Okay, in pots also, small pots, water gets collected, so that will take time to dry. But the roads gets easily dried up even after the rain, because the surface is more. But in that case, the earthen pot, you can say pots are there, in that the surface is less, so that water will take time to escape into the atmosphere in the form of vapor. So this is the main role of surface. And you see when you are like we are drying the clothes, okay, in a particular plane, and we are spreading the clothes, okay, so spreading the clothes means we are increasing the surface area, okay, so that's why the surface area has to be increased. In that case, you can say the evaporation will be more. Okay, so that's why we keep on spreading the clothes, so that it just get dried up easily. Okay, so so many examples are there. You can relate it to a day-to-day life as well. Find so many examples you can relate. Okay, so let's see the next thing. Next topic is, next factor affecting surface area is pressure. Okay, the third factor is pressure. Now how we will relate pressure? Because we know that when you apply pressure, what will happen to the molecules? Molecules, they come closer to each other. Fine, if they are coming closer to each other, it means that will take time to escape into the atmosphere. So we can say that pressure is inversely proportional to evaporation. Inversely proportional means pressure increases, evaporation decreases, and vice versa. Vice versa means pressure decreases and evaporation increases. Why? If suppose pressure is more, okay, then in that case what will happen? If pressure is more, the molecules will need more kinetic energy. If they need more kinetic energy, it means, if suppose pressure is high, okay, so in that case, if pressure is high, the molecules, they are closer to each other. In that case, you can say that we need to separate the molecules. We need to break the interaction. Okay, so in that case, the evaporation will be less. So less evaporation. Because more kinetic energy is required. Fine, because the particles, they are closer to each other. So kinetic energy is low, so more energy is required, and more energy will come from the temperature. So that's why the evaporation will be less in this case. And if we take the opposite of this, that is the pressure is low. The pressure is low means what? The particles, they are not closer to each other, they are far from each other. It means less kinetic energy is required to break the interaction between the two particles. So in that case, evaporation will be more. So pressure is low, so less Ke is required to break the forces of interaction between the two particles. Okay, in that case, more evaporation. Okay, that case, more evaporation. Fine. So this is the third factor. It's inversely proportional. Let's see the next factor, that is humidity. All of you know what is humidity? Yes? So let's see what is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the air. Okay. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere. So fourth factor is humidity. So humidity is what? Amount of water vapors present in the atmosphere. Fine. So evaporation is inversely proportional to humidity. How? See, if the atmosphere is already having the water vapors, okay, it is full of water vapors, so in that case the water holding capacity by the atmosphere will be less. So in that case, if already water vapors are there, so in that case it will not be able to take the more water vapors from the particular system. So in that case, evaporation will be less, because evaporation is what? Evaporation is what? The change of the liquid into its vapor form. So that vapors will not be accepted by the atmosphere because it is already having in a sufficient amount. So atmosphere will not accept those water vapors. In that case, the process will, you can say, it will take place at a very slower rate. Okay. So evaporation is inversely proportional to the humidity, because in that case atmosphere will not be able to hold that water vapors. Fine. Then the next one is, last one is wind speed. So wind speed is directly proportional. Wind speed is directly proportional to evaporation. Fine. That more the wind speed, more will be the evaporation. Why? See, what is happening with the wind speed? Suppose if the speed of the wind is more, it means more air is there. So what will happen? Most of the vapor particles will be carried away by the wind. Most of the vapor particles will be carried away by the wind, thereby increases the process of evaporation. So more the wind speed, more will be the particles of the liquid go into the vapor phase and easily carried away by the wind, and then evaporation will take place at a faster rate. And if the wind speed is less, then it will take time and it will take place at a slower rate. So 5 factors we have discussed. Out of that, 2 are inversely proportional to evaporation, that is pressure and its humidity, and 3 are directly proportional to the evaporation, that is your wind speed, then surface area, and then temperature. Okay, so this is all about evaporation. Now more and more examples we have to write. What are the applications? So few of the applications we have discussed as well. So in that case, you just write on your own. Fine. So this is about evaporation, and here we have ended the chapter. That is the first chapter, matter in our surroundings. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.